So introduce yourself.
Hey, Lauren.
No, not hey Lauren, hey world.
Hey, world. No.
However you want to
Hey, my name is Nicole, and I just wanted to sit down a little bit with Lauren just to tell my story.
All right. So, tell me about your childhood growing up. Who is
Gosh,
Nicole?
Nicole. As a little girl, I was called Sean.
Okay.
I didn't know my name was Nicole until I went to school because I was known as Sean. In childhood, I was a private school kid. Kindergarten through 8th grade, I went to John 23rd. Spoiled. Was I bad? I wasn't bad, but I was challenged. I had a bad attitude with my teachers. The typical kid. Um, you know, Again, I go back to being spoiled. My mama cooked macaroni and cheese. I don't want that today. Well, what do you want? McDonald's, Burger King. Just spoiled. you know, um, I grew up with both parents. I had my mom and my dad. I had an older brother. We were 14 years apart. No relationship. It's hit and miss. But he loved me. Because he knew he had a little sister. So he would ride in the car, carry me, see the girls, meet the girls. It was just my childhood. I wouldn't change anything. I loved it. It was great. It was great.
And so, how's your life now?
My life now has been challenged. It's been a roller coaster. It's been a hell of a roller coaster ride. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I feel like I've overcame a lot between tragedy, death, mental illness, domestic violence, life, financial struggles, homeless, and that's just to name a few. But I'm still here.
Look at you, strong as ever.
That's what I keep hearing, but people tell me all the time you're strong. I don't see it. And I try to sit back, and it's not me playing the victim. It's just that so much has happened in my life. I don't feel like I'm that strong person. But again,
here you are sitting.
I'm still here.
You're here.
Yeah.
You didn't give up.
I couldn't give up. I had people depending on me. I couldn't give up. That wasn't an option. It's just the way that the way that I had to maneuver life just to get through it for them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you have 3 kids.
I have 3 kids. I have Danye, who is now 26. I think we're the same age. My story, I'm sticking to it. Kayla, she's 18. She's in college now. And I have Caitlin, my senior, my baby girl. She is 17.
And then you're going to be an empty nester.
Oh, gosh. The countdown is real. And I have 2 grandbabies. Amira, who's no longer with us, she would be 7 at this time. And Camille, she's 7. Yeah.
They're the light of your life. I know that.
They are.
All right. Well, I'm going to show you a picture.
Okay.
And I want you to give me your feelings from it.
Okay. Sure will.
So, who are these people?
That's my mom and my dad.
What feelings come up?
My world. My mom, I've never seen a lady in this world that had unconditional love. So much love. It was like, you would call someone perfect, but there's no perfect being but Jesus. She was that close. She looked beyond your flaws. She looked beyond everything, and just the love that she gave. Anybody could tell you. A stranger on the street can just tell you who this woman was. Her smile lit up a room every time. It was great. She was great. She was a great woman. She loved that man. That's my dad. He's a character. He's a great guy. Same kind of love. He'll love a stranger.
Remember the story.
You were there to witness
Maurice?
it. Yes. You were there to witness some of his last days.
Yeah.
Great guy. Great guy. Growing up, he was an alcoholic. So that was a challenge. But growing up, I kind of took advantage of it when he was drunk. I got money.
Yeah.
I got what I wanted. I knew who to go to because I'm like, he's drunk. So if mama say no,
Go to
Daddy gonna say yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I was a daddy's girl to the heart.
Yeah.
But I miss them. They're the best parents anybody could ever ask for in life, even grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to love me.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to love my children. But they showed, back to that word, unconditional. There's no price on unconditional love. And they showed that to me and my children, and they did not have to.
They're great people. Sounds like wonderful people.
Oh, most definitely. And
And
they're in heaven together, back in love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're coming up on a year from
December 17th with my dad. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I know that's been hard on you.
It has. It's been very challenging. I had to take a break for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't. I took care of my dad, especially after my mom died, and people had an issue with the way I took care of my dad, and some things were said about me, about my dad, that were hurtful. I couldn't believe it. Now, my dad did help myself and my children, financially. Anything that we needed, he was always there. But that's what parents do.
Mm-hmm.
I would do the same for my kids, my
And you
grandkids.
have.
If they need anything, I have it. I'm going to give it, and that's just the love that you give your family. And after my mom passed, suddenly she passed right before Christmas of 2013, which was just sudden.
Mm-hmm.
That broke me. That truly
You
broke.
weren't
I wasn't
going
ready.
through the motions before.
Yeah, I went through the motions, and to have to sit there and plan my mom's funeral, just Christmas.
Yeah.
And the irony was the Christmas gifts for the girls were dresses. I was like, wow, okay. Note taken. So they wore those dresses to her funeral.
Yeah.
Dressed her, made her look pretty as ever because she didn't wear makeup. She wore a little tad of lipstick, put a little lipstick on.
She didn't need much.
She didn't need much because she was just beautiful inside and out. But yeah, that kind of took me out for a while. The girls were little. I think I can't even remember a year of their life. I let life kind of just beat me up at that time because I couldn't understand the responsibilities that I really, really had. Because my mom I was a mom. I was married. I was in the process of going through a divorce at that time when I lost my mom. I had just hurt myself at work. I had moved back in with my parents. And I think it was a God thing because God had all of us there together. And again, I had guilt with my mom because I know I wasn't the perfect daughter, but I was trying to be the best daughter that I could be. But none of us are perfect. But when your back is against the wall, you're beating yourself up, and you're going through the guilt stages, and you're going through, I should have did this, I should have did that, why didn't I do that this way, but I knew her love was just so unconditional. She looked over me and my faults, my kids' faults, especially Danye. She looked over his faults because he was hell.
Poor Danye.
Yeah, Danye was hell. But she still loved him despite. She still loved me despite. She loved my dad despite everything that he did and put on her. It was a lot. And my dad, I tell people all the time, y'all can't talk about him. I can though, because that's my daddy.
Yeah,
that's my daddy. You can't talk about him. No, you better get off my dude. Because like when he would get super drunk, he would talk like a Jamaican. And he like everybody, don't y'all talk about my daddy. He got up at his mother's funeral and took. You remember the old Polaroid camera? And you take a picture, say. He got up in front of his mom's casket with that camera drawn and took a picture. That's all you heard.
It's like one of those comedy
My mom
movies.
and I just put our head down. I was like, "You got to be kidding me! You cannot make this up." But that's just my dad, you know.
Yeah.
He was fun. He was that fun guy. He was the
Mm-hmm.
fun uncle. He was a fun grandfather. He was a fun dad. He was a fun brother. He's a fun great. He was just a fun, loving guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my mom, again, like I say, the same. But again, it goes back to they loved just in spite.
Mm-hmm. Growing up or any time in your life, did you ever feel like something was missing or different?
No, I didn't. I just, sometimes you say, "Can life be this perfect?" Uh, but no, I never wanted for anything. I didn't feel. No, I never felt different about anything. Mm-mm.
All right. So you were told something that was from left field that
Yeah,
you had no idea was going to be told to you. Can we get into that?
yeah. Let's dig in.
Okay.
We had just took a trip to my dad's hometown. He's from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Family trip, and great trip. Again, my Danye's dad, Danye, my nephew, my cousins, and my parents. And we were on our way back, and I was driving. I was on the way back, and some things were said in the back seat, which I wasn't privy to the conversation because I was driving. They were kids. They were
Mm-hmm.
kids talking in the back seat. So we got back home. We took the van back. Got back to the house. I went and got me some Hall's chicken. I was gonna eat my Hall's chicken, and so my nephew said, "Sean," I was like, "What?" So in the process, I'm opening up a chicken,
Mm-hmm.
and salted.
Yeah.
He said, "Man, do you know Jameer them said that you were adopted?" I say, "What?" I was like, "Dude, that's what white people do. Black people don't do that." So my dad was sitting on the couch and my mom was in the kitchen.
Mm.
So I was spending ready to sit on the fireplace, and I said, "Mama, Dad, y'all hear this craziness? You hear what little Tony just said?" They were like, "What'd he say?" They talking about I was adopted. And she said, "Huh?" And my
Mm.
dad was like, what you say?" I said, "Adopted. Man, white people do that. That's what white people do. Black people don't adopt. Why would they sit there and say some things like that?" I was just like, I'm just so sick of people running their mouth. So I'm about to sit on the fireplace and eat my chicken because I'm hungry. So I just blew it off. My mom walks in and she said, "I think we better tell her the truth." I said, "Tell me the truth." My dad said, "No, she's not ready. She's not ready. She's not ready." And then why he said that is because I was already going through with my son's dad because
Mm-hmm.
he was abusing me domestically,
Mm-hmm.
and we just were not where we needed to be. And he's like, "She's not ready. She's too emotional. She can't handle that. She can't handle that." Essie, my mom's name was Essie. She can't. I was like, "Handle what? What are y'all talking
So they're
about?"
saying this in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole argument in front of me, so I'm still standing there
So
with
now
my
I need to
chicken.
know
So
because
so my nephew, he's sitting there looking puzzled,
yeah.
and they were like, "Sean, sit down." I'm sitting. I said, "But I don't want to sit. I'm gonna stand up." So I still had the chicken in my hand, So I was like, "What's going on?" And my dad is still adamant. He's cussing. He's going off. He's like, "No," and my mom's like, "Sean, yeah, 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 yeah. We adopted you." When I tell you everything left out of my body, I just stood there stunned. I dropped my chicken. I couldn't breathe. I, and my dad was like, "I told you not to tell her." He grabs the phone and started making phone calls. He left the room, and I was still just stunned. And my mom tried to walk over to me. So the first thing I said, "So y'all been lying to me my whole life?" And she's like, "Shun, it's not like that. We we just didn't know. We didn't think we would ever have to tell you." Tell me what? I'm still not registering. what they told me.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like my whole life was just crumbling up in pieces, and I didn't understand who Sean was anymore. Um, so I just ran, jumped in my car and I ran. I couldn't go to my son's dad because we were arguing.
Yeah.
I just ran. Um, so I immediately, because before, when I was in college, uh, I moved. I came back home and I moved to Georgia to live with my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And her name was Wanda K. She was, that was my heart. She was like my best friend, best cousin, big sister, whatever you want to call it, mom. She was everything. And so I called her. Do you know? Did you know? I said, did you know? She's like, Sean, what are you talking about? I said, did you know I was adopted? She said, huh? She said, where's Uncle Mo? Because they called him Uncle Mo, my dad. Where's Uncle Mo? No, no, you need to answer my question. She said, let me talk to Uncle Mo. So I gave my dad the phone and he's just yelling and he's upset. Um, I'm upset. My mom's upset. I don't want them touching me. I don't want them talking to me because over 20 something years, I've been Nicole LaShawn Thornton. Now, who am I?
You have a whole life you don't know about. Could have been.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy to think about?
yeah, yeah. I didn't know. I didn't know which way to go from there because now I can't trust nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe anybody because now everybody around me has been lying to me.
So did your cousin know?
Yeah, she knew.
Okay, so she knew.
She knew.
Okay.
Uh, but I guess it was just that's just something we didn't talk about. We accepted you for who you are. You are you. I love you. That's all they kept saying. I love you. I love you, Sean. You're this. It's not about that. But at that time, I had no understanding. I didn't want to hear what anybody had to say. I asked my brother. I said, "So you know?" He said, "I don't know what you're talking about. Mama was pregnant." I said, "Dude, no, she wasn't. So stop lying." I, and to this day, he still says that.
Maybe that's something his mind made up. You never know.
Yeah, and again, I just never thought in the black community that they did adoptions.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't talk about it, couldn't address it, I couldn't see it. Came to the house, my mom hands me the adoption papers. Like, wow. It's like, so this is real.
Mm-hmm.
This nightmare is real.
Yeah.
And she was like, Sean, please don't hate us. I had no words. I had no words. I jumped back in my car because at that time it was reality. When she handed me those adoption papers, it was a reality that I'm not who I was.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Trinity River, drove my car to the Trinity River, and I was going to jump because I felt like my life was over. I felt that I wasn't going to be loved when people found out the truth. I wasn't going to be who I was. I was different. I didn't come from the people that I thought I came from. I didn't have family. No one was going to love me because my thing, I just wanted to be loved. I wanted to be loved. Um, and I stood there, and Danya at that time was a baby. And I think my mom kept calling. She just kept calling. She just kept calling. I didn't want to answer the phone. And something pushed the button. It was Danya.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy, I didn't jump,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted to end everything. Everything. I wanted it all to be over. Um, but he called. I stepped back, got in the car, and I just kind of drove, crying, driving with tears. You can't see. I didn't care if I hit anybody, hit a car, hit a wall, hit a tree. It didn't matter. It didn't matter at that time because right now I don't know who I am. So I went back home, just went to sleep, and days passed. I still wouldn't talk to my parents. I didn't know what to say, even though they apologized over and over and over for the lie. But my dad, I'm your dad. I'm your mom. I'm your dad. I'm your dad. I set this whole thing up. I did this. So they explained it. He said, I said, set what up? He said, I'm your dad. I was like, okay. At this point, I can't believe anything that comes out of their mouth. Uh, I, I didn't get it. So at that time, I started grabbing phone books and looking online to see how I could find out who I was.
Did they give you your name or a name?
They named me. They got me at 6 months old. So they had me my whole life. They named me. I was Catholic. I was at St. Paul Hospital.
I was born at St. Paul too.
Yeah, that's the best hospital. They were everything. Yeah.
All right, so you were looking through the phone book. What were you looking for?
I wanted to find where I came from because on the papers that she gave me, it had the name of the mother and of the father. So I started looking up those names and any connections. So before I did that, I got online at, I think it was like 1-800 find. It was something that I kept calling and spending money on, and I was getting nowhere.
Yeah.
I had common names of people that you're connected to with those names, and so no luck. I got addresses. I was just going knocking on people's doors because
you were just trying to find answers.
I wanted to just find answers to this nightmare. Because for me, it was a nightmare. Even though it was a nightmare at that moment. It was a nightmare at that moment for me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know who I was. So I was knocking on people's doors. I was spending money because I was adamant about finding, where I came from. Not negating the life that I had. But at that moment, I'm not thinking about this life. I'm thinking about who I am. This is a new day. This is a new day. So it's a dead end. It was a dead end. I didn't find anything. So, after that, me and my son's dad broke up. He was a cheater, abuser. He was trash. So I was able to get out that relationship. Me and my parents, we were fine. We got through it. We ended up going to counseling together. My mom kept telling my dad, stop lying to me about being my dad. He's like, no, this is my daughter. He was adamant.
Because he has that unconditional love for you.
That goes back to that unconditional love. This is my daughter. Nobody's going to change that. I'm sick of people being jealous about the relationship. He was adamant. He even told the therapist, I'm not lying. We all knew he was lying. But I really believed it. I really believed that my dad was my dad. I believed my mom was my mom. But, that paperwork showed different. And then out of her mouth, shut up. But you're mine. It never changed nothing ever wavered through my anger and my attacks and things that I was saying. Her love never wavered. She took it. She took the shit that I said. She took the stuff I dished out. He took it. It wasn't intentional. It was the anger. I was angry. The therapy helped. It helped a lot because I kind of go back through what I learned about anger. Now, it helps now. But yeah, so it was a dead end at first. So I got married. 2003, I got married. I had 2 kids. Um, that wedding, I guess I had red flags with that too. I just didn't pay attention because he was different.
Mhm.
His parents were ministers at the church, and I had red flags. But I wanted something different. I didn't want to get beat. I didn't want a handsome man. I wanted somebody that was just I
Just,
just
yeah.
something,
Yeah. Better than what
but
you had, but
yeah, I wanted love
Mhm.
because I felt like nobody in this world had unconditional love for me and put me first. I wanted to be put first, but once my parents put me first, but that's a different love. That's parents.
Mhm.
You want somebody to put you first. If you call, they get off the phone with the person that they talking to talk to you. You know, just I want to be number one.
Mhm.
I don't want to be number two. I don't want to be number three. I want to be number one. So I chose him,
Mhm.
and I did. He was the drummer at the church. Not my type. So not my type. He looked like a little boy, but me and his brother were cool. But I learned to love him.
Mhm.
Learned.
Learned.
I learned to love him, and
Yeah.
it was cool. We got married. No honeymoon because Danye wasn't having it.
Oh,
Danye wasn't
he
having it.
wasn't happy.
Nah, he wasn't having it. He didn't want. He said, "Mommy, you can't go nowhere. You gotta stay with me." So, no honeymoon. We moved in, um, and yeah, we planned our kids. You know, we had 2 daughters. He ended up going to the military. Um, Kayla was born first. Um, then Caitlin.
Mhm.
We were a happy family.
There they are.
Yep, my crew.
That is your crew.
I'm my crew. So yeah, we were a happy family, and then the happiness stopped. The lies came, and that's one thing that I told him from the get go. Don't lie to me. I don't do lies. I tell my kids that now. I don't do lies. That's the one thing that is just cut off. Lies.
Because of what happened.
Because of what happened.
Mhm.
Trust.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Mhm.
If I can't trust you, I can't be with you.
Yeah.
Number 3, be real.
Mhm.
I mean, honesty. But you lie to me, that's it. You lie to me, that's it. So he was that guy. We were roommates. We were roommates, and then finally I left. While he went to work, I packed my shit up. Go. He didn't know what happened when he got home. I was done. It was Christmas. It was done.
Yeah.
All these Christmas.
Everything's happening around Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, I moved out. Me and the girls moved the apartment building over from him. He had no clue. I told him, don't y'all say nothing. And he's like, okay, mommy.
Oh.
So yeah. So we were separated. We divorced in 2015.
And so how long from the point of when you found out you were adopted to now, or to then, has it been in this timeline?
Well, in between that time, before me and my husband split, I got back on it again because I was having health issues. I was having really bad health issues, and now when I go to the doctor, I can't say
you know your family history.
I don't know my family history, and that bothered me.
Yeah,
that bothered me. I was like, dang, it's embarrassing. It hurt. It's hurtful. And I told my mom, I was like, I need to find them. She's like, you don't have to, Sean. Where are your parents? No, I need to find them for health reasons. So she understood, but she was still kind of, she didn't want me to.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, I'm your daddy. Just give me my family history. Just give my
Daddy
family
doesn't
history.
work like that.
No, dude. Nah, because his papers say something else.
Yeah.
So I got back on, started making calls, spending money online again. And this time my husband was helping me. We got the yellow pages. This time I had names. So I had her name, her children's names, because I guess technology got a little bit
Oh
better in
yeah.
between that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had names. And so the last name I was looking up was Derek Scott. That's my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I was done.
Mm-hmm.
I said, D, I'm going to try this last name. And it said Katie Scott. And it was Garland because they said it was a Garland address. I said, D, I'm going to try this last name, this last person, and I'm done. I was going to say, forget it. You know, if I don't know, I just don't know. I'm over it. Call that number. The lady said, hello. I told her who I was. And I said, I'm trying to reach Derek Scott. She's like, well, he's not here. I was like, oh, Jesus. I said, D, come here. You know, I was like, oh, I was nervous. I was so scared. She's like, well, can I take a message? I said, well, maybe you can help me.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her, I gave him the mom's name. She's like, yeah, that's my mother-in-law. I was like, oh God, oh God. I said, okay. D's like, okay, okay. He's like, yay. Because he acts like a kid. Yay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I told her who I was. I said, my name is Nicole. And I'm trying to find my family. She's like, what, huh? What are you talking about? You know, she didn't know. She had no clue.
Yeah.
She had no clue. So I gave her my number. You know, if you can pass this on to any other siblings, this is who I am. This person is my mom. I have the paperwork, blah, 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 blah. She's like, okay. She was really sweet, really sweet. And I appreciate her so much. And I told her, thank you. Got a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
My brother. He had no clue that his mom had given a baby up for adoption. She told no one. She told no one. His sisters didn't have a clue. His two sisters, Michelle and Raquel. And so we met up because he was out of town. So we talked, met up. I met her at Olive Garden. You know, I had my questions. You know, my first question, why did you give me up?
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, I already had two kids, and me and my husband, we wasn't together, and I didn't want to bring you into the world like that, and I was in the streets. I said, okay. But you also have a daughter that's younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Make it make sense. She couldn't. She couldn't make it make sense. So I sat there. I was like, okay. I have a mother that loves me.
Mm-hmm.
Wholeheartedly, unconditionally. I didn't want her to be my mother. I didn't want anything from her. I just wanted answers. And that's what I explained to my mom. I just want answers. I needed that closure for me. Nobody else but for me. And she gave me those answers. You know, she's like, I was on crack. I was like, oh, I'm a crack baby. That hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt. She had a lot of mental illnesses, a lot of illnesses. You know, she had a lot of illnesses, but she was a nice woman. She was really nice. Despite what she did, I wasn't mad at her.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't mad at her at all. I told her, thank you. Thank you for giving me to two loving people that love me in spite of them. They love my children. Thank you. So grateful. I'm still grateful. It's so much gratitude. You know, I hated that I didn't grow up with my siblings because I always wanted a sister.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. But I have a brother, and me and my brother are like this.
Okay.
That's my dude. That's my dude. Derek, that's my dude. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I'm grateful. You know, so I got to meet her. I met my sisters. I met the extended family, aunts, cousins, and stuff like that. It was a celebration. But of course, when time passed,
Mm-hmm. It's kind of faded off.
Which is fine with me.
And you don't talk to your sisters?
No.
So you're just with your
scared.
brother?
Yeah. And I'm okay with that. It hurt. Because again, I just want to be loved.
Yeah.
I think everybody just wants to be loved. Um, that's just me.
You want to feel accepted.
I want to feel accepted.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like I was in a world by myself. You know, failed marriage, fair relationship, just life just hits you in the face, and you're just like, can something go right? Like, what did I do?
Yeah.
You know, what did I do to deserve this? What where am I flawed at? But in all of this, my faith never flawed. I still trusted God to get me through, to deliver me, and make me whole, and make me whole again. I trusted.
Yeah.
I just couldn't see it, but I knew He had me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you ever find your dad? Did she ever tell you
The
about
name
him?
that was on the birth certificate was Derek's dad, and he had passed away. He passed away when Derek was younger.
Okay.
So,
but Derek can tell you about him.
Yeah, Derek has told me about him. They worked at the post office together. And the crazy thing, my mom worked at the post office with his grandmother.
Oh.
Yeah, so she went when she found out it was him. My mom was like, they talked on the phone all the time. I was like, what
How
the
did they
heck?
not
How
know?
did this not? You got her grandchild. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't know. And when my mom told her about me being Derek's sister, she's like, no.
Oh.
And mom said, well, it's right here. But she's like, he didn't have a baby and they were separated. Mom said, okay. Some mom told me I blew it off. I didn't care. My dad's right here.
Yeah.
This is my dad. You know, and I explained to my parents, this is not a slap in your face. It's not a slight to you, but I just needed answers for me.
Yeah, you need closure.
You know, I needed closure. They understood. You know, I just told my dad, stop lying. So, but whatever you got to say, you know, you're daddy. You're going to always be daddy. You're always going to be mommy.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less.
So, how did you tell your kids? Or, I'm sure they know.
They know. They do know. I didn't know how to tell.
Yeah.
Because I knew it would confuse them. Because I was like, man, these are their grandparents. And how do I explain to them that? And they were young. They were real young. I was like, but you got to tell the truth. You can't lie. So when we went to meet the family, you know, I was like, I never gave her a name. This is your auntie. This is your uncle.
Yeah.
These are your cousins. These are your cousins. These are your cousins. You know. That was it. And then, of course, she passed away. But it was hard because I had just met her.
Oh, so she did pass.
She did pass away. It was hard. I cried. Yeah. About the baby. I was like, man, I just met her. I just got her in my life. She was my friend. She was my friend, and I loved her because I'm grateful for her because she brought me in this world, and she gave me to two loving people. So I'm grateful for her. So it hurt. Yeah. You know, I'm like, man, what the heck? You know, so I was there with her when she died. I was there the whole time. My mom even came to the hospital to see her. She told her, thank you. That's the kind of person that she is. She didn't have to go see this woman.
Because they didn't meet.
They never
for the adoption. Okay.
No. Oh, no. No. It was a secret adoption. It was done through the Catholic diocese.
Oh.
So, yeah, my mom came and they came to the funeral. She's like, girl, you over there crying hard. I was like, I know. I was like, I know. I was just like, because that was a part of me. At the end of the day, it still was a part of me.
Because without them, you wouldn't be here.
Exactly. Yeah. But I appreciate my mom and my dad for just being there for me and being there for my brothers and sisters. It was cool.
So, have you struggled anymore with anything because of that? Or did you ever, get the therapies or, closure from it to move on? Or does it still come up?
It doesn't come up because I didn't talk about it. It was never talked about. It was never said again. Because people are so judgmental. I didn't want people to think I didn't belong because I saw the distance that some family members did.
Oh, so you did have some family that
I saw it. And maybe they don't think they did it, but I kind of saw it. I felt it. Maybe it could have been me. I felt it. And then my stepbrother, Johnny, he always has something to say. And my My dad, he just talks so much. But he's a good, great guy.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. I love him. He's my brother. He just talks too much.
Mm-hmm.
But he would always make it an effort to say, he would make sure he would tell somebody else that she was adopted.
Little sly comment.
Yeah. And then, his wife would say it. And I'm just like, it doesn't matter. I quickly try to defend it because we don't talk about that. I'm not adopted. These are my parents.
So were the people that are jealous and talking about it now people that knew about it, or people? Oh, okay.
They knew.
So now because
the whole family knew,
they're being a little petty.
They were being petty.
They just want to get a hit on you, but don't let them.
Yeah, because when I met my brother's Mark, which is one of my dad's son, we talk all the time. He's a good dude. That's the one that we got sick after my dad died.
Mm-hmm.
Good dude. He was like, yeah, Johnny kind of came to me and told me about you being adopted. That's not his story to tell.
Yeah, it's not his stuff.
That shouldn't have been said. That's your sister.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't look at you any different, Sean. And it broke me.
Yeah.
And I immediately went in there and told my dad, do you know, he told Mark, he's like, why? He got mad.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
He was angry.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand. And I keep asking Johnny to this day, why do you hate me? Why don't you like me?
Yeah.
What have I done to you? I don't get a response. I don't hate you, Sean. It's something.
Mm-hmm.
It's something. And we don't talk. I call him, but he doesn't call me. Again, I want my brothers to love me, not just when something's going on.
Yeah.
You
said you have 2 grandbabies.
I do. Camille and Amira.
Wow.
That's Cam. She's the youngest.
And this is Danier's?
That's Danier's baby. Oh, no, not the girls. Yeah. Yes, Danier's babies. Yeah, Camille and Amira. She's 7 now. And Amira will be 7.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Camille came at a time where we were kind of going through some things with my dad's health issues. Again, my mom, she passed in 2013. Kind of went through the same mental things with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So Camille came. Blessing. Truly a blessing despite the drama that Danier had with his baby mama. Oh, it's drama. That's a story for another day.
Okay.
That's a story for another day. But so we had her, and we also had my niece, because my nephew had a little baby at the same time as well. So we really didn't get a chance to get Camille or see Camille too much due to the situation with him and the mom. And one day, Daniel said, man, Mom, you remember Kevin? I was like, yeah. They went to school at Duncanville with him. He's like, man, he sent me this picture because he was messing with Renee at the same time. And he said, that ain't his baby. So let me rewind. Mm-hmm. So Daniel went to the military. And before he went to the military, after he graduated, he had an encounter with Renee. I loved Renee. She just was a little blonde girl at the school because I worked at the school. Love Renee. Sweet little girl. So he's like, yeah, I kind of had an encounter before I left. Okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. I just thought he saw her. Right?
Yeah.
I just thought he saw her. So he's like, yeah, this dude. So when he came home from the military, he said, I saw Renee at the store. I was like, did you? She was pregnant. And I just burnt off. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, good luck to her. I hope everything works out for Renee. Yeah. So months later, Danielle gets a text from this guy named Kevin and a picture of a baby. He said, I don't think this is my baby. Danielle said, what? He said, I think this is your baby. So Danielle calls me. He's like, Mom, I need to talk to you. I was like, what's up? He's like, man, you remember Kevin? Yeah. He sends me this picture because I don't never check Instagram. He sends me this picture of a baby and said he don't think it's his. He think it's mine. I said, how's it going to be yours? I thought you just saw her.
Uh-oh.
He said, well, I said, so you can go to my parents' house? Oh, well, we ain't going to talk about that right now. I said, so what? Let me see the picture. So Diane lets me see the picture. Go get your kid. Go get your kid. That's Amir. That's my boo. So he went and called Renee. He tried to find Renee. And he asked her 50 million questions. He went over there. He went to her house and he saw that baby. And when I tell you, I felt my life was so complete at that day. Bring that baby to me right now. He's like, okay. I was nervous. I was excited. The girls were happy because they were like, well, we get to see this one.
Yeah.
You know, so oh my God. I felt like God had given me another chance of life because that is unconditional love, a baby. So Diane brought her to the house. I touched her. I looked at her. I was like, yeah, she belonged to us. That's all I kept saying. She belongs to us. This is ours.
And how old was she?
She was 9 months old.
Oh.
No. Yeah, she was 6 months. She was 6 months old. It was, oh my God, that love, that baby. I just held her. I just loved her.
Instant connection.
It was a connection. It was a real connection. For real. I was just like, thank you, God, for repairing that hole in my heart that I had from my mom. And we had her every day.
Yeah.
I was taking that baby to work with me. I was picking her up because she stayed down the street from the school. My friends at work, Vicky, they were like, go get Amira. They were buying her clothes because she really didn't have any clothes. She really didn't have nothing too much.
Yeah.
You know, I combed her hair. We got her clothes. We cleaned her up. I mean, she brought the whole family together. You know, so when he did get Camille, when he did, you know, Camille will be there or whatever. You believe in love at first sight? That was love at first sight.
Yeah.
That was love at first sight. Not negating Camille, but it was a situation where she was just kind of in and out. But Amira, there. I took her from Danya. I said, this is my baby.
Yeah.
This is mine. And where I was, she was. I couldn't go to the bathroom without Amira. I couldn't go to sleep without her, like, on my chest. I couldn't leave the room. She was right there, just trailing me. I loved it. I did anything I could for her. So I had lost my job at Duncanville, and I started working at Arlington. And I let Renee stay with us for a while because she was kind of going through some things. I was like, I never want to take your baby away from you, but you know, you come over here and stay. She was like, okay. So she stayed for a while. Her and Diane had a girlfriend, so they were never in a relationship. They were never in a relationship. That just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was like, okay, Miss Nicole, I think I'm gonna leave. You can't take Amira. You know, she's here. This is home. She needs stability. So Amira, of course, stayed with us. Renee went her way. So Renee called me on Labor Day. She's like, hey, Miss Nicole, my phone's not working, blah, blah, blah. I want to see Amira. Oh, no doubt. I'll tell Diane. I said, I start my new job tomorrow in Waxahachie. I said, I'll call. I'll have Diane, you know, get in touch with you so, you know, he can bring you the baby. She's like, okay, thank you. So all these days I have been trying to get Amira to say my name, G Mama. Now I was G Mama. Finally, she said G Mama that night. So we were just in the bed playing. She kicked Caitlin out the bed over there.
How old was she?
She was 19 months.
Okay.
She was 19 months old. So we were just hanging out in the bed playing. I was like, girl, I gotta go to work. You know, so I did so many videos and took so many pictures of her. I wouldn't say I loved Amira more than life itself, but I did. I loved that little girl. So I went to work that morning. I left her. She called while I was at work, but I couldn't take the call because I was training.
Yeah.
And so at 3:00, I said, I told Rob, I said, man, I need to call Amira back. She called me. So I called the number. And I said, hey, where's Renee? And it was a guy. He was just like, oh, she's at work. Where's the baby? Oh, she right here. She just chilling. I said, just chilling?
Because you don't know who this is.
I said, well, who are you?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm DeMarcus. I'm her friend from back in the Gap. Oh, okay. What you watching? He said Mickey Mouse. I said, yeah, that's our favorite show. I was like, okay. Click. Danya, say, dude. You know who DeMarcus is? He's like, I think it's Renee's dude. But I have to trust that Renee's going to make the best decision for our daughter.
But something didn't sit right with you.
It didn't sit right with me. My spirit. I didn't go with my gut. So I went on home, and the whole way home, because Rob was like, man, Nicole, you probably better go get her. I'm like, I know, right? I said, but I don't want to overstep.
Yeah.
Especially what Danye said. I didn't want to overstep my son. Because at the end of the day, it's his daughter, but I do take care of her.
Yeah.
And I felt like she was mine. But I didn't want to overstep Danye.
The boundary.
Yeah. So I went home. Everything moved so slow that day. I guess I was like, man, I must be tired. So I sat down, and Danye was kind of into it with his then girlfriend. She kept saying, he keep calling me private, and he keep blocking his number. I was like, bro, I ain't got time for this drama. You know, so all of a sudden, all I hear is a boom. Car going down the street. Then she calls. I'm like, oh, Lord, what now? Miss Nicole, Danye said something wrong with a mirror. I was like, what? He's headed to the hospital. What? I said, okay. So I'm like, I know he just want to be making something up just to get this girl attention so she'll answer the phone.
Yeah.
So I sat there on the foot of my bed and I just took a deep breath. I was like, okay. 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 Self, you need to get up.
Yeah.
Self, Caitlin, go put y'all some clothes on. Where we going? I don't know. So I called Vicky. I was like, say, something going on with Amira, because Amira had an allergic reaction some weeks before, so I thought maybe it was an allergic reaction, and she met us at the fire station. I said, put on some clothes. I don't know, something going on with Amira. She was like, okay. I had no gas. So I went and got to her house. She said, why don't you just let the girls stay here with her daughter? I said, okay, cool. She said, where are we going? I said, I don't know. So at that time, I started calling that number with DeMarcus. No response. Then he said, hey, we're at Baylor. I didn't know what was going on. And I just brought her out here. The ambulance brought her. I said, okay. I said, so we're going to Baylor. Now I speed. I drove 40 miles an hour to Baylor. My nerves was, I didn't know what
something
was happening.
Wasn't right.
It just
your soul.
Someone right. So we got to Baylor. When I pulled up, I saw Danye's car with a bunch of police. I was like, what? I said, did he get in trouble for speed?
Yeah.
I was like, I hope he didn't give her no fish or something that she was allergic to. So I'm just walking slow. I get to the desk. And I said, hey, I'm here for Amira. Is Amira here? I'm looking for my son. They's like, what's your name? I said, Nicole. So by this time, the police coming. They's like, oh, we need you over here. I was like, what's going on? When the police come, a chaplain comes.
Oh, God.
And a doctor. Can you follow us? So in the midst of me walking, I look to the left and I see Danye, Renee, and 6 doctors working on a mirror. I passed out. I screamed. I passed out. What's happening? What's going on? Why are we here? So once I came to, they put me in a room, the chaplain, and police. What the hell is going on? And while he's saying, Danye busts through the door and punches the wall. Where he at? Where he at? Where he at? I'm like, Danye, what's going on? And he's just crying. He's just crying. He's just crying. I'm still sitting here. I don't know what's going on. Can somebody please tell me what's going on? All I see is doctors working on the mirror. What's happening? My daughter, she's... What? So the doctor comes in. And he's like, we got to move her. She needs to go to Children's. We're losing her. What? Okay. He said, we'll let you know we're ready to move. So the detective comes in and Renee comes in. She's just walking in circles. What happened? She said, Miss Nicole, I promise when Amira gets better, you ain't got to ask me to see her no more. I'm fine. She needs to stay with you. She needs to just stay with you because everything's okay when she's with you. Just nothing else. What is happening?
You still don't know.
Still don't know. So, Danye's hot. He's hot. We get everybody together. We go to Children's. She coded on the way to Children's. We pulled in the back of Children's. They had a whole transport for us. We get to Children's. Renee jumps out the ambulance screaming. Just screaming. She said, no, no, no. So we go in Children's. They rush upstairs. They put us in a room. Doctors call me. I told Diane, you and Renee go back there and you're the parents. All I see is Renee just screaming. Diane's just fire. He's like, I need my mom. You gotta get your shit together, bro. You gotta get it together. You gotta be strong. So I went in there. The doctor was explaining the damage. Ribs broke. Lacerated liver. Lacerated kidney. Lacerated spleen. Brain damage. Like, what? How? You know, how? How can somebody hurt a baby? She said, there's nothing else we can do. I was like, what? She said, your son has already made the decision. I said, okay. He said, but we're just having some issues with Renee. Okay. I talked to Renee. She said, well, I just looked at WebMD, baby. This ain't about WebMD. She's gone. She's dead. Gotta pull the plug. Baby. My baby. Laying there helpless. Beaten. Hair pulled out. So many internal injuries. She can't live like that every day. We gotta let her go. So the doctors gave her a thumbs up. She's okay. We'll go get it cleaned up. And we'll bring her to you guys. Spend as much time as you want with her. So we did. Diane sat in the rocking chair. Just rocked the chair and just told her how much she loved her. He was like, Mom, can you please hold her? I said, I can't hold her. I can't hold her. I kissed her. I said, you spend some time with your baby. So I had to make some calls. I had to get my girls up there. Got the girls up there. Told them that, what happened, which I still really don't know what happened. That their niece was dead. They cried. They didn't understand. Hell, I didn't understand. So we said our goodbyes. Silence. Nobody talked. All you heard was cries and agony. Why? God, why? Because somebody hurt a baby. The way that this baby was hurt. Her mom left. She just left. She went to the boys' house. Why? We got home. Phone started ringing. Doorbell started ringing. Detectives calling. But I had to get in the mode of just gotta take care of business. Take care of business. Couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. Didn't understand. Still didn't know the extent of what happened. So I called Renee. I said, hey, what are you doing? She was at his house asleep. He said, she sleep. I said, wake her up. Why? She sleep. Wake her up. So I said, hey, you need to get over here to the house. Find somebody to come get you, get an Uber, do something. You can get over here where people that love you. Because at this point, I still don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I just know my grandbaby is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes to the house. Go eat this food. They brought food, fruit. My friends have come over. Um, Danye said, "Say, bro, let me holler at you." I said, "Oh, no, no, no. Y'all not talking about yourself." So I went in the room and I told my friend Shantae, I said, "Hey, come in here too."
Mm-hmm.
So she stood over here. Renee sat at the foot of the bed. And I'm rubbing her hair.
Yeah.
Again, you're her mom.
Yeah.
My heart breaks for you.
Yeah.
Danye's right here. Danye's like, "Say, bro, I don't understand. You don't went to this dude's house and you over there laid up with him and he done something to our baby." She's like, "Yeah, I know." He said, "It makes me question your judgment on everything." He said, "It makes me question your judgment on everything." He said, "That makes me wonder about the busted lip because the week before she had a busted lip and I went and picked her up." He said, "That makes me question the busted lip because you didn't want me to know and you called my mom." "Oh, yeah, about the busted lip." So I was rubbing her, she had braids. I was rubbing her braids. And so when she said, "Oh, yeah, about the busted lip," I lied. My hand was stuck in her head. Diane said, "B, what you say?" I said, "Diane, don't call her that. Don't call her that." He said, "B, what?" "Don't call her that."
Yeah.
She said, "I lied. DeMarcus did it."
Oh.
When I tell you the room just spin, it was just spinning. My friend was standing on the wall. She did like a I Dream of Jeannie, like, what? What did she just say? And she said, "I lied. DeMarcus did it. I wasn't there. I was at work." Danye lunged. All I could do was scream, "Help. Somebody help." When I tell you she sat there and did not move, she said, kill me so I can be with a mirror." You're not going to get off that easy. You're not going to get off that easy. So it was just chaos. It took my cousins, she's a Dallas police officer, it took her and several other people to get Danye. I mean, he just kept.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just to get up. I mean, you literally saw the fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's his baby. So this guy tried to hurt her the week before. And you asked for her back? It just didn't make sense to me.
You should have just let her stay.
You should have just let her stay. I mean, you called for her. She was there, but you called to see her. But I had no reason not to trust her. So of course, I had to plan a funeral, which was hard. And just to see her body just laying in a casket and I wouldn't wish that on nobody. And then just trying to be strong for Danye, Kayla, and Caitlin, and even Renee. Despite I had to be strong for her too. Because I still, at that point, I still didn't know the extent.
Because they were still investigating.
Yeah, they were still investigating. But I was, through my hurt, we got through it. We buried her. A baby, an innocent baby. That was our princess. We miss her, but it wasn't over after that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had to go through a trial. We have to deal with the outside people.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we found out the truth of what he did to her, which is so heartbreaking. I mean, Amira had 120 plus injuries internal. I had to look at autopsy pictures. And so January came and the detective was like, "I need you at the office now." "Why?" And the DA, "Why?" Some stuff came up. Okay. She said, had some more injuries prior to the day of death. The day of the busted lip. Bingo. She had he busted her mouth. She busted her lip. That's the only thing that I saw. was the bus lip. I wasn't focused on anything else because that's what I was told.
Yeah.
She said she fell off the bed.
Mm.
Okay, kids fall off the bed all the time. That was what I said. And I was like, she gonna cry. She'll be okay, put some ice on her lip and call it a day. But it was more to it. He tried to kill her then.
Mm.
And so with that being said, she was in my care. So that put it all on us. Like we did it. Yeah.
So they tried to
put it on us. Well, when you bathed her, did you see bruises? If you're not looking, you're not gonna see.
Yeah.
My
and
focus
sometimes
was
it can take a little bit to show up.
Right. Mm-hmm. So this is all I can see.
Yeah.
And her crying was her cry for help.
Yeah.
So just to know that he was beating her, she's a baby, just broke my heart even more. And then just to have to go through it. And at this point now, I definitely got to be strong because I got to protect my family. I got to protect me. I got to protect Danye. I got to protect Caitlin, because it was on all of us now.
Now the tables are
turned. The tables have turned. Mm-hmm. So this first part is over all of us. And they said at the time of death, the liver was healing. Yeah. I said, so what are we saying here? So the DA explained it. And the DA was like, this is just so hard to try. She said it's not like a bullet. Yeah. You know, somebody getting shot or stabbed. It's not like that. This is totally different.
It's more spread out.
Yeah. She said, but I'm going to try to hell out this case. She said, because I know he's going down. So it was a 2-year process of trying to be strong. And that trial came. Every day, something different, something new. He was arrogant. He's a piece of POS. Just, he didn't care. Mm-hmm. He showed no remorse. His family tried to fight us. Again, I don't wish this on nobody. And I kept saying, God, why? Why me? Why? It's like I take one step forward and 100 steps back. Mm-hmm. Like, this is tragic. This is pure tragedy. A baby. But I didn't have a choice. I had to keep me together. Mm-hmm. Despite how I felt. Again. Mm-hmm. I couldn't just fall.
Yeah.
Because I still had kids to take care of.
And you got Camille.
And I had Camille. Mm-hmm. And her drama.
Yeah.
I couldn't fold. Mm-hmm. So once the trial was over in November 2019, he got 50 years.
50 years. Mm.
He should have got life.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not the judge or the author of his story. I'm not. So trial was over. It was quiet again at the house.
Yeah.
Nobody said nothing. We didn't talk about it. It was done. Had to put cameras and stuff all over my house. Mm-hmm. Went back to work. Couldn't function. Because I had been strong for so long.
It's like that adrenaline rush has lasted and then now it's gone.
Poof. Mm-hmm. My job said, you need to go talk to somebody. Yeah. I didn't do anything at work. I didn't snap or anything like that. I guess they just knew.
It's kind of numb.
Yeah, because I would never leave work to go to therapy because I couldn't, because I was like, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
But at that moment in time, I knew. And that was in January. I was in therapy from January to July. Intense daily therapy. I had to. Mm-hmm. I had to process those feelings that I didn't process. I had to realize I buried my grandbaby. I had to talk about it. I had to engage. I had to dig in deep. And I had to let it out. That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Bearing a grandbaby. But I did it. I got through it. I felt better. Uh, I just, that part of our story, it'll never be over
Yeah.
because during my process of healing, I had to forgive
Mm.
because
Forgiveness.
that word there says a lot in itself. Because I allowed DeMarcus to control my feelings, my day, everything. I allowed him. No, you can't have this kind of control over me. So that was a burden lifted. That forgiveness wasn't for him. That was for me.
Mm-hmm.
And as I talk now, I pray for him. I pray that he's okay. You know, do I want somebody to beat him up? Sure. Sure. But I pray that his soul is intact. Uh, I pray that God continues to give him help. I pray that God continues to protect him while he's in jail. You know, just Diane told me he ain't there. He said, I'm not there, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I probably never will. But I had to do this for me. I had to do this for Nicole. Um, and I feel better that I forgave him. I wrote a long letter about forgiveness. It's done.
Do you talk to Renee at all?
No.
No.
No, I check on her, but have a conversation. I haven't had a conversation. We saw her. Well, Danye saw her when we went to Vegas, but no.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to her friends. They kind of give me the ins and outs of how she's doing, but other than that, no.
And so this guy is about 4 years into his 50 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll do 25. He'll do 23 and he comes up for parole from that day, November 2019. Yeah. We're going to write a letter.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people writing letters.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah.
So, coming from this,
Okay.
did you fully heal when you were in that therapy? Or did it still linger that you know, for things that were suppressed even more? Like when your dad passed? Or did it bring up, you know, anything whenever you were going through that with him? Because you took care of him at the end of his life.
I did. I took care of my dad. My dad has beat death so many times. He's a blessed man. He's truly blessed. We used to call him the cat with 9 lives. I said, but I think you got 20. He just beat it. You know, we had those close calls and boom, he's good.
Yeah.
But this time it was different. It was in August. You know, he was in the hospital in July, came home. I'm like, dude, let me take care of you.
Yeah.
You know, let me take care of you. He's just like, nah, son, I'm a man. You know, I'm a man. You can't take care of me. And you saw that pride on those calls.
I did.
That pride, he wouldn't let me make it. He would not let me be the daughter to take care of him. I said, Daddy, you've taken care of me my whole life. It's my turn to take care of you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No, son. So we had to sell the house. And now you gotta come. Now you gotta come. So I was like, well, we'll find you like something nice, another place to stay or whatever. But I gotta take care of you, buddy. Whew. He's like, man, I guess I just gotta let you take care of me, huh? I was like, yeah. And so he went back in the hospital. He came to the house. He went back. He's like, Sean, I can't breathe. And I'm like, he's like, you need to call 911. I'm like, you for real? He's like, yeah. I said, okay. So I called 911. He went to the hospital this time. They were like, they did the DNR, of course. You know, that always made me nervous. So he just like, explain the DNR. He's like, explain the DNR. I'm like, dude, it's been talking about the DNR. You know what a DNR means. So they were talking about it and they kept looking at me. It was different.
Yeah.
It was different this time. And so they moved him upstairs. So I was sitting there, I was working. You know, I took my laptop and I was working. And so the nurse came in and she was just like, no, the doctor came in. He's like, he asked my dad, he's like, who is that? He pointed at me. He's like, that's my right hand. That's my daughter. That just made my day.
Yeah.
That's my right hand. That's my daughter. Whatever you need to know, you need to talk to her. He said, well, this conversation I'm going to have serious. So he kind of said some things about palliative care, hospice, and it's like, wait a minute, what? Your heart is not doing what it's supposed to do, your kidneys, you know. I was just sitting there just bawling. This is different.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to get through it. So I said, Daddy, are you hearing what they're saying? He said, I heard them say something about some hospice or something. Like, God is good. Okay. Okay. So I just cried.
Over here again.
He said, Sean, stop being so emotional. He said, get it together. He said, we good. He said, you're going to be okay. He kept trying to build me up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're the one.
He's trying to comfort his baby.
Yeah. I was like, so the doctor was like, you have any questions? No. So I just got to call my brothers. And, I called my brothers. They came up there and got to make some decisions.
Yeah.
No. They kind of like nurse home. No, please. I'm not going to nurse home. It's going to be me. Call the family. No. So I asked him, I said, do you know what they're saying? He's just like, yeah, but whatever. I don't think it was clicking.
Denial. Mm-hmm.
So brought him home. He was in good spirits. He was himself. He was fussing. He still was fussing because he fussed a lot. He fussed at the kids. Something went right. Got him comfortable. Made sure he was comfortable because I had bought him a brand new recliner.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of noticed some stuff. I was like, I think I might need that hospital bed.
Yeah.
Got the hospital bed. He's like, this thing goes up and down. I like this. So whatever you want, Daddy, what you want? What you want to eat? What you want to drink? What you want a new outfit, shoes, clothes, anything that man want. Hat, got hat. I mean,
gotta have
anything that you want, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want. You want a cookie? You want cake? You want pie? Whatever you want, you got it. Because he was a diabetic too, but the way he was eating, he couldn't have been a diabetic. He couldn't have been a diabetic. Because I kept telling people, can y'all check his sugar? Because he was eating pies, cakes. He was sneaking cookies in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was living his best life. But you can't do that. You ain't the boss of me. What are you talking about? Oh, this your house. So I gotta do what you tell. He just talks so much. He just talks so much noise. But I wouldn't change a day that I had with my dad from August to December 14th. No, I'm sorry, December 12th, because that's the day we had to call the ER. I mean, the paramedics, because he couldn't move again. He couldn't get up and go to the restroom.
Yeah.
And he started swelling up all over. But before that happened, I had ordered, because he always kept talking about my mom. He said, I miss her so much. So that picture right there, I got him a gold, big, round diamond chain with that picture in the middle of it.
Oh.
And I gave it to him that Saturday. And he was just like, oh my God, this is the best gift ever. Thank you so much. I'm never going to take it off. Put it on his neck. He never took it off.
Yeah.
Never took it off. Went to the hospital. They said he won't be going back home.
Yeah.
What? She said 5 to 7 days. What? Yeah. Nah, this dude is strong. That was it. So they took him upstairs, cried my heart out. Couldn't believe it. I had to tell my girls. They were broken because that was their hero. That was their dude, just like mine.
Yeah.
That was my dude. Danye, that was his dude. Because it goes all back to the beginning of my story. Unconditional love. That's what that dude had. You're my biological father, but in your mind you are. And you loved us in spite of everything to the day you left this earth. Why couldn't I reciprocate that? And that's why I did. Um, so he passed. Um, blur. It was all a blur. I kept moving because I had to. Kept living because I had to.
Mm-hmm.
Kept taking care of the kids because I had to. Until my birthday this year. I was like, man, why he hadn't called me? The girls looked at me like, who? I said, Papa. They kind of looked at each other and, do they gonna call you? And I just kind of just, it was done. I was broken. I was broken. I, I couldn't do nothing but cry, hurt. I mean, the pain is just like a stabbing in my heart, in my chest. I couldn't breathe. Help. That's all I could do was just scream, help. Somebody help me. That was my soul. And I was like, God, why do you keep taking people away that love me? My mom, my dad, Amira, my niece. Why do you keep taking all these people away from me that love me unconditionally? Because that, I know without a shadow of a doubt, was love. And I didn't understand it. I am I doing something wrong? You know, those are all the questions that I asked myself. And he said no. But I fell flat to my face.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew where I needed to go. Old Hickory Trail. Went to Hickory Trail. Got my life together. I unfolded a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I had to have conversations with my dad because I think it was the point of, why couldn't you tell me bye? Why didn't you tell me you was going to leave me? Why did you just leave me like this? Why did you leave me by myself?
So did he pass without you there?
He passed 6 o'clock. I was headed up there at 7.
Mm.
Yeah. I was there every day. I was in that hospital with him, waiting for him to wake back up. When we left him that Monday, we prayed the Our Father. He prayed it with me. He talked about the girl's hair. He told Caitlin he was her favorite. She just cried. Kayla said, well, what about me? He said, oh, but you already know. I fed him.
Mm-hmm.
But I was angry. Like, dude, you know you weren't finna wake back up. Why couldn't you say it like Sean? You know? I couldn't get past that anger. I was pissed. Like, dude, why? You're my hero. You're my guy. Why would you leave me like this? So I talked to him. Asked him why he didn't tell me bye. He said he was tired. Tired. It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with Caitlin. It had nothing to do with Caitlin. It had nothing to do with Dad. Yeah. He was tired. Got it. So I healed. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I was.
Mm-hmm.
Do I miss him? Yes. Every day. You know, I still see him in my home. And I'm so grateful that God gave us those last days. Because those last days was hell on earth for real.
Mm-hmm.
But they were good. They were good hell days.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got cussed out, fussed at, laughed at. You know, we
I remember
had a great
he'd keep
time.
you up or
All
wake you
night.
up early in the middle of the night, rearrange the furniture.
Yes. Scream my name, Sean. This TV ain't working. You need to fix technology. Dude, it's you. Push the button. I don't like that. I don't like this.
Screaming like nobody's sleeping in the house.
Like,
yeah,
he's
I
like,
remember.
dude, it's 12 o'clock in the morning. It's 5 o'clock. We're asleep, you know, but jump. We would jump. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we switch up, but he calling Caitlin, they can't hear you. They sleep. You know, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. I love my dad. Miss him. I miss him, but I know he's at peace. So yeah, that journey, it was hard. I went through 3 months of intense therapy with him. I just got out of therapy 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think I'm renewed.
Yeah. You look great.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm strong enough to talk about some things that I've never been able to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I felt like I was going to write a book called Overcomer.
All right.
And Triumph to Tragedy. I think I'm there. I think I'm ready.
You know, a lot of people could use that healing from your experiences too.
I think it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Now, you know, I said I was tired of being embarrassed.
mm-hmm.
I was tired of being a people pleaser. I was tired of not being able to tell my story or like be around people because this person knew that person or of who I was. I was tired of being embarrassed of who I was.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Why should you be?
Why should? And I was like, no, I'm Sean. I'm Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
This is who I am. This is who God created. It may not be the way that it's actually done, but I'm me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm a cool person.
Pretty cool.
Thank you. I'm alright. Okay, I'm alright.
Alright.
But yeah, but I had to realize that I can say no.
Mm-hmm.
I don't owe anybody an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel embarrassed. Don't be
Mhm.
hurt. Don't be confused. Just be the best Nicole that I can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that this is my last go around in therapy because I unpacked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I had to just to be okay because I still have people depending on me. But I had to make the selfish step for me. I had to be selfish. And I told my kids before I did it, I said, y'all on your own, I got to get me together. And they understood. And when I tell you Danye supported me 100%, that dude, even though he's like a thorn in my side, he supported me. He supports everything. And I truly appreciate him.
Well, I know your dad is grateful to you in those last days because you showed unconditional love yourself too. And I bet looking, to back when you first found out everything, your parents never treated you any different. Even when they, you found out anything, and they've loved you and gave all they could to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you couldn't see it then,
No.
but I know you do now.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And that's the way I want to be like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, perfect example.
Yeah.
Just perfect example. Like, she tried not to get out of character. But if she did, she did just a little bit. But I want to be that virtuous woman.
Yeah.
And I believe one day, I don't know if I get married again. This dude's trash out here. But,
Tell me about it.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day, But it's a God thing now. It's about me. I want to live.
Yeah.
And I have 3 things: live, laugh, and love. That's what I want to do. And just live life to the fullest and no regrets. And my hurt, my pain, I pray it can help somebody to be able to be open and talk, because I never told my story.
Mm-hmm.
I never could say it out loud because I was so worried about what people would say and what people would think of me. I'm not worried about what people think.
Who cares?
Who cares?
I'm looking forward to your book.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it too. This is just a brief part of it, but I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait till it comes out.
Perfect.